Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, January 31, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a time for change call Wednesday, tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. The greatest of a man's power is the measure of his surrender. William Booth. The word surrender is often greatly misunderstood. Surrender is not about giving up, failing at life, or the loss of anything. Surrender is one of the most beautiful experiences life has to offer, and it is much more enlightening than you can imagine. Surrender is the total release of your ego's constant effort to get somewhere better than here now. Surrender is bowing down to the divine essence with yourself in this now moment. This is what liberates us from our egos and allows us to be an open vessel to effortlessly manifest those deepest desires that we deserve. Surrender frees us from any suffering we are experiencing instantly. The person who can fully surrender to this moment invites in such a profound clarity that they start realizing that they are living in paradise on earth. Notice what happens. Anytime you deeply relax and let go of everything, how do you feel about your life, relationships, and your future? The experience of letting go of the need to be in control of your life is such a huge relief. It's similar to the feeling of submerging your feet in a warm bubble bath after standing for 12 hours in uncomfortable shoes. An enormous release occurs the instant you stop pretending to be the general manager of the universe and open your mind to seeing and feeling the bigger plan, for which our souls are here. Now, we naturally begin trusting the flow of this life, knowing that the higher divine intelligence will always take care of us. This is where the magic of surrender truly comes in. Every moment of this life becomes magical in this 100% trusting space. God is there only if you surrender. Surrender makes anything God. Surrender gives you the eyes, and everything that is brought to these eyes become divine. Osho. When we consciously surrender to allowing everything to be as it is in this universe, we let the universe guide us and support our every decision. This guided, trusting feeling is such a wonderful feeling. When you're in it, you feel this forever expanding energy inside your heart. There is space in you for the entire universe. you are instantly filled up with life force and no longer desperate for whatever we were seeking. Through surrender, those sad, lonely, desperate feelings of emptiness caused by constant striving, pushing, and trying to attain something better than here now instantly dissolve. We are filled with divine goodness the deeper we let go. The more abundance, inner peace, and divinity comes rushing into our bodies. We find that at the core of ourselves is pure conscious, intelligent energy. We discover what real love is because we are connected with a deep feeling of eternal peace inside. We discover the greatest experience life can give. If you are persistent in thinking that you are separate, alone, and must strive harder to manifest what you want in this life, you are fighting the universe and swimming upstream. To be in control of your reality, you must choose to first surrender to it. Only through surrender can we release all energetic ego roadblocks which were hindering our paths to enlightenment and the manifesting abilities that come with it. If and when you surrender, it is because the ego is protecting itself and afraid to evolve. The ego is easily threatened and pretends to be strong by covering itself in a false protective defensive armor. The true you is like sunlight. It needs no protection or defense. It is warm, loving, expansive, light energy, whose only requirement is to enjoy itself. If you cannot surrender, your ego is in control and your heart is covered in armor. You are blocking everything that is amazing from entering your life. How can love enter our bodies if our hearts are guarded all throughout our day? The moment we choose the path to surrender, the armor falls away, and all the subtle hidden shields around your heart become useless. Only in this space are we able to experience the profound state of peace that brings about your enlightenment. It is only through relinquishing the need to control, defend, manipulate, and protect the heart that we can find true and total freedom on a deep soul level. Very profound statement in the Course of Miracles. That which is real cannot be threatened, and that which is unreal does not exist. By giving ourselves permission to trust in the perpetual progress and often hidden evolution of our soul's journey, we will find the universe simply takes our hand, guides us directly towards that amazing life we have been yearning for. The God Source never forsakes those who trust in its perfection. By surrendering to this moment, we are trusting the entire perfection of this universe. This empowers us to attract the experience of seeing, feeling, and knowing the perfection. Only through this understanding can the divine awakening being we truly are become fully realized. It is only from this space of deep, 100% trust in the perfection that anyone has the strength of awareness to awaken. Perhaps the best reason to learn surrender is that the all-expansive trusting feeling feels so good in our bodies. Our hearts relax. Our chest releases. Our mind opens. And we feel a warm sensation of peace throughout every cell. Trust liberates our minds from its normal goal-oriented approach to this life so that we can start seeing the unlimited possibilities that are available here. It allows us to tap into the greatest love available to humankind. Why would we want anything else? There's no need to struggle. We have efforted enough. Surrender leads to trust. Trust leads to surrender. Yet there are always three sides to every coin. What is the path between these? This is the ultimate exploration. For we will go beyond both the experience of surrender and trust. We will find it only in that silent, timeless space that is free from any effort at all. It is in this timeless gap between both trust and surrender that we become enlightened. There will come a day when we will need to drop surrender, as there is also some effort required. Instead of trying to walk along and follow the path to freedom, we have become the path itself. This is when we will have discovered the divine is you, all of us. There will come a day when we will need to drop surrender, as there is also some effort required. Instead of trying to walk along and follow the path to freedom, we have become the path itself. This is when we will have discovered that the divine is you. The best news of all is that practicing surrender instantly creates an incredible magic in our lives. That magic is already here now and happening. Yet surrender removes the blinders so that we can see and feel it again. By letting surrender take control of the steering wheel of your life, you can manifest anything you want with effortless joy and ease. Through true and total surrender to this universe, there is no goal we cannot reach, and nothing we cannot accomplish. When we turn everything over to a higher power and trust that all is unfolding exactly as it should, all we can see is the perfection. This is where the rest and the real magic exists. and makes us truly unstoppable in our spiritual journey towards the brightest life we can imagine. We are transforming this planet literally. It isn't a whim, it isn't a wish. It is a reality. And we are the only supreme reality. Everything else is an illusion. So everything you see, everything you watch, everything you listen to outside of the God that you are in that body is pure illusion. And as we know, illusion can be very compelling, and it could really seduce us into believing that it's real. So why is all this? Why do we have all this out there? Why do we have it? Why don't we just not have anything? Because we set it up so that we can what? Experience. You imagine if there was nothing to experience? How long do you think it would take us to get really, really, really bored? I mean, if there was nothing really to do. Just a blank space. But at one time, this planet was a God planet paradise until it became infested with lower frequencies. Those lower frequencies absolutely, purely, totally are just about gone from this planet. The lower frequencies have kept us seduced, trapped here. And I think that a difficult thing for many is to believe, not that how can they be part of us? Okay? How in the heck could they be part of us? They're pure evil, but they're part of us. Everything is interlinked, connected, everywhere, beyond pure consciousness, beyond the beyond pure consciousness. See, when you understand that this is an infinite journey, it means that we constantly are experiencing. We leave this life, we enter another one, or we don't, and continue experiencing another form. That's what this is all about. And along the way, we begin to discover, and then we actually fully discover, of who and what we are. This changes everything completely. And again, this planet becomes a God planet paradise. The entertainment is occurring out there. Inside of us, there really isn't any entertainment. There is the discovery that we are gods. Period. Remember, God is a word. You can use pure consciousness, whatever you're comfortable with. But that's what we are. We're highly, supremely powerful beings. We have a multitude of abilities. But if you keep something you keep something locked away, like we've been, and totally deceived, like we've been, with absolutely no knowledge of how powerful we are, like we've been, how fun is it to discover all of those abilities that all of us have that we never knew we had, not in any lifetime that we've been. It's, for some, it's a little overwhelming. For others, it's just the ego has such a strong pull on us. So we become each step, and it's all our decision. It's no one else's. No one is going to force you to go within. You won't even force yourself to go within. You'll just choose to go within. And anybody can argue this till they're blue in the face. We are transforming this planet. We are transforming ourselves by choice. And the majority of us on this planet are only getting a few percent of what's truly going on. Most of us don't see all the good stuff. We don't see it. We don't hear it. We don't experience it. But imagine what it will be like when that veil of deception put up by the pure evil is gone. Not even a smattering left. Imagine how things will flow. Imagine all the good things that you're missing right now that you can't see, you can't find, will be front and center. Won't that be something to experience after all these lifetimes? All of us are assembled here at this time to witness the transition. The magna glorious, spectacular transition of this planet Earth. Now, many of us have incarnated over and over again for this time. We just never, the timing came in too early, came in too late, maybe. But many believe that this time, that we've all assembled in this lifetime, that we're right on target. And we aren't going to miss it this time. See, when we surrender, and it is a touchy word because many in the 3D Earth, the old Earth, believe it's a threatening thing. It's a threatening thing to the ego. See, because our egos want. They're never satisfied. They'll never be satisfied. And so when we hear that word, surrender, many interpretations: weak, misguided, manipulated, deceived, powerless, quitting, giving up. That's all wrong. So when you look at what you discover about yourself within that body without judgment, without harshness, and you look at all of these experience, view, look at all of these illusions outside of us, and we view and experience and step in and step out. And so many of us throughout existence have said, there's got to be something better than this. Is this all there is? That's the ego mind. The stay that we have in these bodies is temporary. Why would we be so concerned of what we get, rather than experience what we live by creating it for ourselves? And this shifting of energies from lower dark matter survival frequencies to light force energy. And the time will come where someone will be saying, I'd like a thunderstorm. Thunderstorm comes in. Someone else will say, I just like it to be sunny all day. Sunny all day. I'd like it to be a little cooler, a little hotter. A little cooler, a little hotter. It'll become a thing where you want to experience certain things. Now, obviously, we will not design it so that we know everything that we are manifesting, that we've set up everything, we know everything before it happens. Oh boy, that would become truly boring. It's like, the movie most of us have seen years ago, Groundhog Day. And look at the message in that movie. Wake up every morning, it's the same day, same thing, same everything. No matter what you do to try to change it, it's the same every single day. Now, the movie doesn't tell us how long he was in that loop, but you can tell by how his whole persona, his whole attitude slowly and steadily shifted. Right? Instead of being discompassionate with himself, disloving with himself, angry, frustrated, fearful with himself and others, he slowly transformed. He learned. And he learned something from that day, every single day being the same. There was something else he learned. And where it finally clicked and came together, it stopped. And the days moved ahead. Can you imagine that? And people have talked about this throughout the years. What would it be like to wake up every morning in a little town in America in the wintertime, and it's the same every single day. Drive your car off a cliff, wake up the next morning, tucked in your bed. Try to electrocute yourself with a toaster. You wake up the next morning, you're good to go. Same thing, same everything. And this life that we have, you can tell how creative we are, because we create everything that we experience. And all anger, frustration, greed, manipulation, fear are love under pressure. Sometimes extreme pressure. No matter what is appearing in front of us. And this is it's a real sensitive understanding for us and our civilization, is that it isn't real. This too shall pass. And it will. All the things happening, it seems like it's the end. And all these people who are totally asleep think, they don't know. And they won't. And those of us who are awakening more and more and more, where we thought we were awake, right? And then all of a sudden something comes around the corner and you go, holy cow. And we're doing it. We're doing it. All of us. We've decided to shift the energies. The energies are shifting. Everything's increasing in vibrational frequency. Everywhere. And you want a really good temperature gauge of that, or a really good measuring stick? Laser sight? Look at how the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies are scurrying around at a breakneck pace. Frightened, stressed, worried, even more angry. And then people say, well, how in the heck how do you know this? How is this possible? Number one is discovering that there's no other power outside of thee. The only power is within thee. The only power anywhere is within thee. And that power continues to expand, intensify, and continually inhabit more forms to experience more forms of physical life, even though it is an illusion. You feel it. So you can meditate with your eyes wide open. You could be having dinner and meditate. Lunch, breakfast. You could be meditating while on the couch, reading something. You can be in a state of meditation 24/7. Everybody, so many people think that meditation is just, it's tough to learn, it's too complicated. It doesn't do anything for me. Those are all excuses of the ego. But, just like anything, you have to practice. Choose to practice. People ask you, what are you doing? You say, I'm meditating. They look at you. How can you be meditating? The image of meditating is going to sit on some hillside somewhere, put your legs in a lotus position, and then close your eyes and breathe, and that's it. That's what you do. Where in actuality, you can do it any moment, at any time, anywhere, any place. You move into the understanding that you're in deep gratitude, always, 24/7, that you forgive yourself of everything, that you love yourself, that you tend to yourself, that you care for yourself, you care for that body. This continually picks your vibrational frequency up. Now you know that, see? You know that's what it does. It's not, you're not guessing. From your heart mind, you continually raise your vibrational frequency. As you do so, you pass through thin layers of illusion. And you just pass through them, and you keep passing through them, and then you get to the center. And the center is the God, the pure consciousness. That's it. And once you touch it with the center, and you realize who and what you are, you don't really care to ever leave. Because your whole life changes. Nobody would be suffering on this planet right now, in this very moment, if they knew what all of that meant that I just shared with you. Nobody would be. But we all are. At different ways, different shapes, different forms. None of us are exempt from it. But we're learning. We're learning in some areas very quickly. And we're unraveling, unweaving the illusion, the seduction of the material physical world. More and more of us are practicing, focusing on what we want and not what we don't want. And we're being very cognizant of that, very aware on how we manifest what we desire. Being much more detailed, clear. When you look at something, it's very difficult because most of us don't remember our past lives. We just think this is the life, right? And we're deeply grateful that we have another go at it because of the fact that we can discover who and what we are before we leave the body. And enjoy every moment that we're in the body. And you should ask yourselves, is this the life I choose? Not that you're unhappy with it, not that you're angry with it, not that you feel like you've been deceived with it, None of that. Be very deeply grateful for this very moment that you're in. Is this the life that you desire? And if it is, hallelujah. If it isn't, then focus on the life you do want. Because the day's going to come where more and more of us are going to be clear and aware. More and more of us will know who and what we are in these bodies. Will it change everything? It'll change a lot of things. Why will it? Because we're aware. We will know that pain and suffering is connected to the ego mind. We will know that greed and manipulation, dishonesty, are all lower frequencies. And we will know that we don't even care to entertain them. And we will do that effortlessly. There won't be what the old earth taught us. We've been taught enough through several lifetimes. We've experienced a lot. We're deeply grateful for it. Now it's time for new earth. It's an evolutionary step for this civilization. Mankind, humanity, human beings, all these labels. Imagine in this massive unending ocean, you have all these species and civilizations thriving throughout the universes. And when we'd ever meet another species, we would just say, the God in me greets the God in you. Now, if they're unaware, they won't have a clue what you're saying. But that will be a true understanding to know that they are still asleep. Doesn't matter how advanced many civilizations are. Many of them are still asleep. This isn't a race. This is a discovery. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Be free from the mechanical mind. The mind is like a robot. It functions on automatic, basically feeding itself the same 60,000 thoughts that it was thinking yesterday. The funny thing is that the mind does not know that it is robotic. It doesn't want to believe that it is automated, mechanical, conditioned, and highly unconscious of its programming. It would like to believe it is free. Yet the mind works so hard, thinking all day long and all night long, and it doesn't know how to stop thinking. It continues to chomp new thoughts, often repeating the same desires and dreams and looping around the same old belief systems. It does this because it thinks it will find what it's looking for. How can this be freedom? The mind is unaware and does not know how to stop itself from thinking. I invite you to find your freedom from this mind today. Now is your chance to step out of the habitual mind habit and discover a new life free from overthinking. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, following morning. We will return here Wednesday, February 1st, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be good to yourself. Forgive yourself. Be gentle, generous, and kind with yourself at all times and in deep gratitude. And you'll never run out of things to be grateful for.